Good morning, everyone. It's lazy Sunday here today. Yeah, what is that lazy Sunday here? Still have to go to the barn, take care of all the animals, this, that. And it's one of those things when you go, every time in the morning when I go over there, you always wonder, are they all still standing in the stall? Is everybody doing okay? And every morning when you walk in and they're all there saying hello, good morning, farmer, feed us. It's a happy moment, right? Yeah. There's one of our younger roosters has learned how to crow. We got 5 of them again. Chicken and dumplings. Nom, nom, nom. We had so many one year that we literally just took care of them, and then, yep. Some of the wildlife out there had a good meal. And sometimes that's just how it works. Roosters, and ours are, a lot of them have game in them, game chickens. The rooster's rib cage is so tight that you tear up your hands trying to get everything out without, again, destroying their feces parts where you don't want that incredibly fast will contaminate the meat. So it's very difficult to get in there and just yes, okay. But these roosters here, they're a little bigger, and yeah, I'm gonna definitely keep them for chicken and dumplings. Yes. So we're in Exodus 18 on a lazy Sunday. I cleaned up my garden, getting it ready for spring. I'm ready to plant now. It says 39 degrees, but it feels much warmer out here, and we'll see what happens. But I got a lot of things ready, and I'm kind of limited here on what I can grow, especially when it comes to the squash. Now, I was here one year by myself, and I just let the squash grow. I mean, it grew all over the yard. There wasn't anywhere you could really, the pathway, everything was covered. But I can go out through the garage, right? Well, how do you get to everything else? I did, okay? And but I could do that because I was here all by myself. But when you have other people here, it's unbelievable on how, I don't know, if I were to walk through someone else's garden and they kind of have things in the way where I'm walking, I'd be very careful. And it's almost as if, how can one be so oblivious, right, to step on vines, to step on young fruit, to step, I'm not getting that. But, so I have more room though this year because I found a couple other things that I want to do with some things that I'm growing, and it will help with the chickens. You see, they're in the yard again. So if I get to, I'll make some pictures maybe and show it, and on, again, the videos that I found, I'm going, I never even thought of that, and okay, and on how easy actually it is to grow many things, get a lot, right? Yes, and save a lot of room. That's what I'm after. So, anywho, but I'll get to that another time. It's been exciting and interesting to just focus on, as I said, where to get better. When it comes to things I really love doing, I'm good at, yet I can get better. Also, the other thing too, if I can free up certain areas that I've used for vegetables before, I can grow more herbs that I want and not to have to be afraid to lose them every year. So anyway, I'm really excited about this year, though I won't be here part of the time, but I'm taking all my ideas right to my children too. And it's interesting when one calls They all seem to somehow call or get in contact. It's almost as if everything's so connected, even with them and with mom. So it's like a little, oh, what do they call it? One calls, then it doesn't take long. The next one calls, but they don't know about now. Oh, I just talked to one of their siblings or this or that. I love it. Interesting. Yes. The meeting. So we're in Exodus 18. The meeting of Jethro, and Moses. Jethro, priest of Midian, Moses' father-in-law, had heard all about what God had done for Moses and for Israel, his people, how Yahweh had brought Israel out of Egypt. Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, then took back Zipporah, Moses' wife, whom Moses had sent home, with her 2 sons. One of them was called Gershom, because he had said, I am an alien in a foreign land, and the other called Eleazar, because my father's God is my help and has delivered me from Pharaoh's sword. Oh, interesting. Two different, yes, points of views. Then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, with Moses' sons and wife, came to Moses in the desert where he was encamped, at the mountain of God. Here is your father-in-law Jethro approaching, Moses was told, with your wife and her 2 sons. Oh, her 2 sons, not your 2 sons. Interesting how this is written down again. So Moses went out to greet his father-in-law, bowed low to him and kissed him. And when each had asked how the other was, they went into the tent. Moses then told his father-in-law all about what Yahweh had done to Pharaoh and the Egyptians for Israel's sake, and about all the hardships that they had encountered on the way, and how Yahweh had rescued them. And Jethro was delighted at all Yahweh's goodness to Israel in having rescued them from the clutches of the Egyptians. Blessed be Yahweh, Jethro exclaimed, for having rescued you from the clutches of the Egyptians and the clutches of Pharaoh, for having rescued the people from the grasp of the Egyptians. Now I know that Yahweh is greater than all other gods. Oh, interesting. He didn't say, now I know that Yahweh is the only God. He's just greater than all the other ones. Oh. Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, then offered a burnt offering and other sacrifices to God. And Aaron and all the elders of Israel came and ate with Moses' father-in-law in the presence of God. I guess Moses wanted to keep his wife and his sons safe while he was battling with Pharaoh as well. That's nice. The appointment of judges. Here we go. On the following day, Moses took his seat to administer justice for the people, and the people were standing around him from morning till evening. Seeing all he did for the people, Moses' father-in-law said to him, why do you do this for the people? Why sit here alone with the people standing around you from morning till evening? I guess he was taking care of, I don't know, people have problems. Moses replied to his father-in-law, because the people come to me to consult God. Oh, okay. When they have a problem, they come to me, and I give a ruling between the one and the other, and make God's statutes and laws known to them. Moses' father-in-law then said to him, what are you doing is not right. Oh. You will only tire yourself out, and the people with you too, for the work is too heavy for you. You cannot do it all yourself. Now listen to the advice I am going to give you, and God be with you. Your task is to represent the people to God, to lay their cases before God, and to teach them the statutes and laws, and show them the way they ought to follow and how they ought to behave. Did the people at that time not know that already, on how you behave? I guess not. What? That's not our original mind. Our conscience knows. Did the Israelites not have a conscience? Well, again, I guess it depends on if you look at this as Moses could have just given, Sunday services, sermons, and teaching the people that way, all together, everybody getting together. Then, eventually that kind of started to happen, didn't it? But here it was one-on-one, kind of one-on-one. Yeah, yes, that'd be tiresome, wouldn't it? But to me, right away, it is, well, if the people have these problems and then they come and they ask and consult, well, that's a good thing. Yeah, it's better than just taking matters into your own hands if you're not sure. Then why not have a class, right, where everybody will be there? Then you're going to be there for what, a couple hours, 3 hours, right? Once every 4 or 5 days or something like that, right? Instead of every day, right? Yes? Okay, I'm just saying. For hours and hours and hours. What? They couldn't come up with that? Okay, all right. At the same time, again, someone will be appointed. Suddenly you have, it's almost as like the first government is going to be what? Implemented here somehow, right? Yes? That's what was needed. That is how it goes. And again, where did he get this from? This is a man who's telling Moses now, I'm going to tell you what to do, who just acknowledged God as the ultimate God. Okay? Just did. Well, beware when people come into your world, right, from the secular world, come to your world and want to tell you how to live without having all the knowledge you got already. Right? When it comes to certain things. Yes? Interesting? Okay, just saying. Not saying this is a bad thing. It's just I see kind of already, where this is going. At the same time, from the people at large, choose capable and God-fearing men. Men who are trustworthy and incorruptible. Oh, that was already a concern. And put them in charge of them as heads of thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens, and make them the people's permanent judges. Now, how would they be qualified? As I said, the people of Israel are a very complaining people. Have they? I don't know. What's the time frame here with all this? They will refer all important matters to you, but all minor matters they will decide themselves. Who decides? Oh, just get stuck down there? I hope not. No, he's all right. Who decides what a minor and a major issue is? All right. Again, it doesn't say. Yeah. So making things easier for you by sharing the burden with you. If you do this, and may God so command you, you will be able to stand the strain, and all these people will go home satisfied. I also find it interesting on how Jethro is using God, right? Say, now I'm going to tell you this, but with God all in there, I'm going, how does Jethro understand God? Does he know God's point of view? Moses took his father-in-law's advice. He didn't say, I will pray about it. And did just as he said. Moses chose capable men from all Israel and put them in charge of 50s and 10s. These acted as the people's permanent judges. They referred hard cases to Moses but decided minor matters themselves. Moses then set his father-in-law on his way, and he traveled back to his own country. That is the end of 18. It doesn't say Moses consulted with God. Is this the way to go? Is this what I should do? I could bring up, okay, now we're not there yet, but I could bring up, because did Moses do the right thing? And we could go into the New Testament and see how Jesus dealt with all that. Did Jesus put any kind of judges in place? Well, time had already progressed far enough that people to ensure law and order among the people, right? Make sure that you don't step out of line, were already in place. Kinda. I have a friend, and she is a few years older than I am, but our children were kind of at the same age. And we did a lot of things together. What did we not do all together? As families, we all homeschooled and had the same faith. And things would come up, and we'd talk about it, this and that. And I am by nature a problem solver. It's almost as if I can't help myself. If someone comes and wants to talk about something, I listen, and the wheels in my mind, our heart to mind, are already turning. I got solutions for you. Often people are not looking for that. They just want to talk. I can't help myself. Here I am, right? Yes. And it was the same in our relationship. There was very little I couldn't solve, right? So I don't need to go and talk to anyone, really. I just love talking about things. I love talking about God, always, right? New things I found out about, through the divine principle, this and that, and our faith. A lot of things were new, things that hadn't been explored before, okay? And certain things that, the behavior of the people, what's God's point of view? How is God relating to us? How can he relate to us? This and that. Right? And one of the main someone's bothering the pig. I can hear it, but I can't see it. And Maverick's right there. Charlie! Interesting. So, but we would have our talks, this and that, and I would come up and say, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Or blah blah, whatever. And she would always. This was always her. I will pray about it. And the first few times that she did that, it kind of took me a little bit back. Huh? Why are you talking to me then? Why don't you go right ahead and talk to God? Yeah. Or pray about it. Yeah. Why tell me then? Right? But I also, when you can't talk out things with other people, right? Yes. Yeah, who also are having families, children, I might have to go over there and see what's going on. They may have blocked her in or something. Is that big? I don't know where she is, but she's not squealing. She's growling. It's nice to have someone face to face where you can talk certain things out, right? Yes. After a while, I realized that is the right way to go. So she's getting some advice, right? Yes, from people, and like from me, and she's okay. She listens. Okay, and I'm going to pray about it. Oh, there's nothing going on. I see her. There she is, and she's just unhappy about something. She's growling. She's just walking around growling. Cute. And I'm sorry about the interruptions. Anytime something different happens than what should happen, I have to pay attention to see, do I need to go interfere, or is everything all right? Yeah, that's it. And I thought, well, that's it. That's actually the proper way to go when you get advice. You have a problem, you get advice from people, and then go, I'm going to go and pray about it and see if that path that I've been given by someone else is the path to go according to God's point of view. Yes? Yeah. Learned a lot from this friend. Learned a lot from her. Always grateful for her. And the one thing too, sometimes we get confronted by someone, right? Yes, I'm using that a little bit differently. I've been confronted by people, or we talk about something, then it went into a direction where to say, now, I am not going to sit here, or wherever we would be, and start having this counterattack kind of thing going. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to listen to what the person has to say, though I absolutely disagree with it, okay? But I can't get out of the conversation without making my stance known and know already there's no way I'm getting through there. Not going to get through to someone with certain issues that they can't see past their blinders. Okay, do I have those two? Maybe. Okay. And I have you said, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'm going to pray about that. I'm going to pray about what you just said. And everything would immediately calm down. Would calm down. And we could continue the conversation, maybe something different, but it would, rather than suddenly you're going, whoa, no, I'm not having this. Forth and back of one opinion against the other opinion, or belief against another belief, because this gets you nowhere, absolutely nowhere. So to say, okay, I'm going to pray about that. I'm going to pray about that and see what God's point of view is in all that. What are people going to say? Well, I don't believe in God. I said, well, that's for you. I have to be right about that. On how I don't want to disregard anything that you have to say, but it has to be right with my surroundings, my heart to mind, my conscience, my original mind. Yes? Anyway, so that's what I wanted to share. Interesting again. Was Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, qualified to give the advice that he did to Moses? And was it the right advice on how that was done? When he came to, right? All right. Now, if there were dispute, it said that the behavior of the people, right? Which is a very all-around kind of, the behavior of the people. What's the behavior of the people? Anywho. And were the judges needed for that? Or could Moses have said, we're not there yet to put people in charge of other people, right? Because we're still learning so much about who Yahweh is, right? And what he expects of us as people, mankind, right? Anyway, interesting one. One could look at it again differently. That's just how I see it, right? Yes. And mainly because I see what's going on out there. Interesting to read the Bible, right? So many thousands of years later of what there is, I think. Yeah. And apply it in a way, see, well, where has that been going? How is that now? Yes? All right. God's love and blessings always, and may he protect you, and I will talk to you again another time.